What's up, everyone, and hot damn it, welcome to the first official post of the Old School New Era YouTube channel. You can also refer to this as OSNE for short. Now, overall, the posts to this page will more often than not be of my universe on WWE2K16. However, exceptions might be made on occasion. Mainly all depends on what the people request and what I'm actually able to do. Also, before I begin, if you played WWE2K16 or even on 15 and are looking to join an online league, shoot me a message on PSN and I can hook you up with a nice up and coming league called WNE. In order to get in touch with me, just send a message to my PSN. It is right here, short stack 919. Sorry. And I'll give you info on WNE whenever you hit me up about it. I'll let you know how you can join, what the rules are, and all that other good jazz. And it doesn't really matter if you're on next gen or last gen, because either way they got you covered. But enough about that. Onto the universe stuff. Now, I have to confess, I got to where I could record a little late, and I had already kind of started universe. So ultimately, what I did was I worked my way to my first pay-per-view, Extreme Rules, and that will be the first show video that I actually post. What better way to start than a pay-per-view, right? But anyway, let's do it. First, we have the actual calendar itself, and as you can see, I have a show for every day of the week and 2 pay-per-views a month. The reason for this is that I have 2 separate rosters. I have a Raw and a SmackDown roster, and basically I took everybody on the game and just randomly generated them to either Raw or SmackDown. So what that means is we have a Raw brand. We have 2 house shows. Main event, we'll have SmackDown and this other show, Total Divas roster. Superstars will have the Raw roster and the Total Divas. We have SmackDown. And then we have this Total Divas, which is basically just where I took all the Divas and a few extra guys and put them on a separate roster. I also have Saturday Night Heat, which is basically a rendition of Sunday Night Heat, and it's just the Raw and SmackDown rosters thrown together. Also, I have the different pay-per-views for the year. Obviously, you already seen I have Extreme Rules. What you didn't see is right here was Backlash, which was the Divas pay-per-view. Also have Unforgiven and Payback. I kept all the regular WWE pay-per-views the same. I just added one for the Divas, which for the next month would be King of the Ring, then Vengeance, Bash at the Beach, Clash of the Champions, No Way Out, November to Remember, Fully Loaded, Royal Rumble, St. Valentine's Day Massacre, and WrestleMania. I believe that's all I really need to go over for the calendar. So the next thing that I'm going to do is go over the superstars and rosters. Obviously, to sit here and go through every single superstar would just be, it'd be too time consuming. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the different rosters that I have, which I've already told you what they were, but I'm going to kind of go over who's and what. The first I'm going to do is here in the inactive thing, I have a few extra people that I didn't really feel like using. I know that some people will like them, but I just didn't really have a spot for them. Kind of had too many people as it was. But the people in here are Corporate Kane, Current Mark Henry, Santino Marella, the Stone Cold for 03 and 1997, the 2001 Triple H, Tyson Kidd, and The Undertaker. I may possibly be moving Tyson Kidd to one of the rosters, depending on if he comes back or not. I know that's a weird reason to bring him back or not, but that's just kind of how I feel like doing it. For the Raw show, there is AJ Styles, Alberto Del Rio, Andre the Giant, both Terminators, King Barrett, Baron Corbin, Batista, Big E, Braun Strowman, British Bulldog, Brock Lesnar, Cactus Jack, Colonel Mustafa, Colin Cassidy, D'Lo Brown, Dean Ambrose, Diego, Dude Love, Dusty Rhodes, Enzo Amore, Farouk, Fernando, Finn Balor, Fit Finley, General Adnan, Goldust, Jack Swagger, Jake Roberts, Jim Neidhart, the 2001 version of Kane, Ken Shamrock, Kevin Nash, Kevin Owens, Kofi Kingston, Connor, Lex Luger, Lord Steven Regal, Luke Harper, Mankind, Mark Henry from 1998, Mikey Whipwreck, Mr. McMahon, R-Truth, Rick Rude, Roman Reigns, Ryback, Sami Zayn, Savio Vega, Seth Rollins, Shane McMahon, Stardust, Sting from 1991 and from 1999, Stone Cold, the 2001 Undertaker, which is basically the bike riding American Badass version, Vader, Victor, William Regal, X-Pac, and Xavier Woods. For the SmackDown brand, I have Adam Rose, Aiden English, Bam Bam Bigelow, Big Boss Man, Big Show, Billy Gunn, Blake, Bo Dallas, Booker T, Bray Wyatt, Bret Hart, Brian Pillman, Bubba Ray Dudley, the 2001 Chris Jericho, Christian, Curtis Axel, Devon Dudley, Damian Mizdow, Darren Young, Diamond Dallas Page, Dolph Ziggler, Edge, Eric Rowan, Fandango, Haku, Heath Slater, Hideo Itami, Honky Tonk Man, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, JBL, Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, John Cena, Kalisto, Kama Mustafa, The Miz, Mr. Perfect, Murphy, Neville, Paul White, Randy Savage, Ric Flair, Ricky Steamboat, Rikishi, The Rock from 2003, was basically just The Rock from all years up until the current Rock, Roddy Piper, Rusev, Samoa Joe, Sergeant Slaughter, Shawn Michaels, Sheamus, Simon Gotch, Sin Cara, Stunning Steve Austin, Superstar Steve Austin from ECW, Titus O'Neil, Tyler Breeze, Ultimate Warrior, Undertaker from 1999, and Zack Ryder. And then in the, well, I don't have anything in these here, but in the Total Divas, I have Alicia Fox, Bayley, Becky Lynch, Brie Bella, Cameron, Cesaro, Charlotte, current Chris Jericho, Daniel Bryan, Emma, Eva Marie, Layla, Lita, Naomi, Natalia, Nikki Bella, Paige, Randy Orton, The Rock, the current version, Sasha Banks, Stephanie McMahon, the current version of Sting, Summer Rae, Tamina, the current version of Triple H, and Trish Stratus. Sorry, excuse me. Now that I've gone through all the different people on the rosters, there's the different teams that people are comprised of. Before I begin, I should say that while I did randomize the rosters, I made sure to keep certain teams together, simply because they're not really able to be broken apart. The reason I say this is because they may share theme music or similar attires or whatever it may be, and to me it was just easier to keep them together than to break them apart and change a bunch of shit, and yeah. Also, it should be noted that most teams on here are on the same show, but there are a few that are interbrand, especially if you like some of the groups that have 3 or more people or whatever. Nonetheless, the team I have assembled are obviously the primetime players, Darren Young and Titus O'Neil. The New Day, they haven't changed at all. The 2 Usos. The 2-man power trip, which is basically where I just put the 2 Terminators together as a powerhouse tag team. I have Big Boss Man and Sergeant Slaughter as a group called Truth and Consequences. Of course, Miz and Mizdow. There's the Ascension. There's Naomi and Tamina for Team Bad. I'll be adding Sasha Banks soon. There's the Bella Twins. There's the Lucha Dragons. There's Enzo and Cass. There's the Vaudevillains. There's another powerhouse team called the Empire of Pain, which is basically Paul White and the Big Show together. There's the Brothers of Destruction. There's the Nation of Domination. There's the Hollywood Blondes. There's the United Kingdom, which is a few different British wrestlers thrown together. British Bulldog, King Barrett, and William Regal. There's another British team, the European Union. Well, I can't really call them the British team, but they're a European group. There's Lord Steven Regal, there's Fit Finlay, and then there's Andre the Giant. There are the 3 faces of Foley. I figured, why not? I mean, they might as well go together. After that is Edge and Christian. the Terrors, I didn't really have the ability to give them their actual name, which is the Triangle of Terror, which was these two and Sergeant Slaughter. And by these two, I mean Colonel Mustafa and General Adnan. But since there isn't a triangle anyways, I just considered them the Terrors. I have Kurt Hennig and his son Curtis Axel as the Hennig legacy. I have the three Rhodes together, Dusty, Cody as Stardust, and Goldust together as the Rhodes family. I have the Islanders, which is Haku and Rikishi. I have a version of the Clique, which is pretty much everybody that was in the Clique other than Scott Hall, because he's not on this game yet. When the DLC comes out, I'll probably change that. I have a group called the Patriots, Lex Luger and Jack Swagger. I actually seen the idea for this team on another group. If you know anything about New Legacy, then you already know what I'm talking about. If not, you should check them out. They're known as NL for short, but their full name is New Legacy. Look them up. But this group is called Vicious and Delicious. It's Mikey Whipwreck and Savio Vega. I have the McMahon Authority, which is a sort of a combo version of the McMahon Corporation and the Authority of today. It's Vince and Shane and Stephanie, and then Triple H thrown in there. I have a version of an old team, which was the Macho Man and Ultimate Warrior. I couldn't remember their specific team name from before, so I just took an old team's name, Power and Glory, put it on them. Figured why not? It works. After that, I have Living Legends. Anybody that knows the old Mid-South, or I'm sorry, Mid-Atlantic wrestling knows that Piper and Flair worked well together. I have the Hart Foundation, Bret Hart and Jim Neidhart. This ties into the Divas brand. I have a few Divas tag teams. These are called the Femmes Fatales, which is Cameron and Alicia Fox. I have the Queens, which are both the only British wrestlers on the roster as far as Divas, which is Layla and Paige. I have the Dudley Boys. I have Blake and Murphy. I have the Los Matadores. And that's it. That's all the team we have. The final thing to go over is the different titles on each brand. Just like the rosters, the champions were completely random, just so that, you know what I'm saying, there could be no favoritism. I mean, if I had to pick, I'd probably pick all the guys that I like to have titles, and that's not very fair, so I just randomized everything. Why not? On Raw, oh crap. On Raw, I used all the different Attitude Era belts, like the Attitude Era WWF title, the Intercontinental title that was used at that time, and the Tag Team titles that was used at that time. Obviously, right now you see that Sting is the World Champion, Farouk is the Intercontinental Champion, and the European Union, the specific two, Finlay and Lord Steven Regal, are the Tag Team Champions. Then on SmackDown, I used the old WCW era titles, the big gold world title belt, the original United States Championship, and the first set of tag titles that WCW used. Like I said, these are completely random, so you have Neville as world champion, you have ECW Steve Austin as United States champion, and you have The Miz and Mizdow as your tag team champions. Obviously see on both shows that there's no Divas title, and that is obviously because of the Total Divas brand. But before I get to the Total Divas titles, I should say that I have a third level for each show, all three. Both Raw and SmackDown have a version of a hardcore title. Obviously, to fit the theme, Raw has the old WWF hardcore title with the tape and all that. The champion that holds that is Finn Balor. And then on SmackDown, I have the version of the hardcore title that WCW came out with in like 2000, I believe it was. Curtis Axel actually holds that. And on Total Divas, I have a version, if anybody remembers from WCW and ECW, they had a television title. The idea behind that was that it was defended every week on television. This Divas television title is essentially the same thing. once again, actually all three of these kind of follow that. They have the television title or the 24/7 rule. So whenever these champions are in a match, it's going to be a title match. That's just how it works. But anyways, as you see, here's the different titles for the Divas brand. The World Divas Championship is held by Nikki Bella. The tag team titles are held by the Team Bad members Naomi and Tamina, and Naomi recently picked up the Divas television title in a match, so she holds that. Now you'll notice that the Divas title is yellow. It does not stay yellow. One of the uniquenesses of this title is that whenever, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. Whoever holds the title, the strap will be changed to kind of fit and match their attire. So Naomi wears black with a yellow trim, so she has a yellow belt. The Bellas wear mainly red. They would get a red strap. Stephanie McMahon mainly wears black. She would get a black strap, and so on and so forth. That's kind of how it goes. Wow, sorry. I totally lost my train of thought. The $1 Million Championship you see here, since there are a few guys on the roster, I figure they might as well have something to fight for. So I let them have the $1 Million Championship in that spot. And as you see, Randy Orton is the champion. And I believe that's actually all there is to go over. If I do happen to think of something, I'll put it in at the beginning of the Extreme Rules video. But other than that, I'm pretty sure that's all that needs to be explained. Other than that, it's been real. I hope you enjoy. I hope you subscribe. And I'm out. Later.